Not yet live. Good morning. I think now we are live. Good morning. Good morning. Just checking that it's actually working. As every day, I gotta do this. Does it actually turn up? No. Almost there. I think. Here we are. Yes. Great. Good morning. I always want to say, how are you? Which is a bit strange because I can't see you, but how are you? I hope you're good. I'm good. I woke up extra early today to do some breathing, which I've been doing a lot these past few weeks, and I wanted to recommend it. In fact, I'm going to put it in the comments for you. Let me do it now so I don't forget. Should be quick. So it's Wim Hof breathing. And if you've never heard about him, look him up. He's a crazy Dutchman who holds a lot of world records in sitting in ice, doing marathons in the desert and all that kind of stuff. So I've just put in the comments the link to this 10-minute breathing video that he has. It's very simple. You just follow his voice. And I just wanted to recommend it. It's something that really helps me focus. It helps me be much calmer. It's a super nice practice to do, and you can do the 10 minutes or you can double it, which I've been doing and then you start going deeper and deeper into it. Very interesting states that you can reach by this. So I just wanted to share that. Today, flowing into inversions. So I was thinking about how very often yoga classes are built in such a way that you do a warm-up, you do your vinyasa flows, and then at one point there's this section of the class where you start to balance. And I think it brings, not necessarily, but it can bring a lot of kind of pressure to, oh no, now I have to balance on my arms. So I wanted to try something, and I don't know if it's gonna work, so we'll see. But I wanted to be like super, super playful. Sarah. Good morning, Sarah. Nice. Yeah, the ice stuff is great. Sarah comments on the Wim Hof stuff. Yeah, recommended. Sorry, losing a thread. And someone told me yesterday that I talk so much in the beginning, so I want to also cut it down a bit. Coming back to the class. So what I want to try to do today is build in little moments of arm balancing, little moments of inversions all throughout the flow. Just so that we can be super playful about it and super easy, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't work the first time or the second time or the third time, because we're just gonna keep kind of sprinkling it into the class. So I recommend having some blocks and having a wall somewhere near you, so that whenever you feel the need to have some support behind you, you can just switch your position. It's quite nice for handstands and elbow stands and that sort of stuff. Don't worry if you're not very advanced or not comfortable with headstands, handstands, all that stuff. I will give versions of everything. I have to say that headstanding is not my strong suit. I want to get better at it, which is why I'm practicing it. But I'm not one of those people who just goes into headstand and stands there forever. So I want to work on that. And we can work on it together. That's kind of the point. Yeah, I think that's about it. So welcome if you're just joining. Make sure you have blocks. Make sure you have some wall space somewhere available for some inversions. And as always, thank you for all your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for following. I'm teaching these classes for free, but if you'd like to donate, that's super, super awesome, of course. And all the information is in the post in the description of this video. So I would say let's get started. So we'll start with a bit of hand and wrist warm up so that we can have some weight in there later and not get tired wrists or painful wrists. And then we're just going to do some vinyasa flows and sprinkle them with little moments of inversions and then build up more and more towards some bigger poses at the end. That's the plan. Sometimes I like to change the plan in the middle, but we shall see. All right, let's start. Looking at the volume, I'm assuming the volume is okay. If anything is not okay, tell me now so I can change it. But yesterday it worked well, so let's just start. Put your full screen so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so come to your mat and take a comfortable seated position so you can sit on your knees or cross-legged. I like to change it up sometimes. So I'm going to sit on my knees on a block, very comfy. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can sit any way that feels good to you, cross-legged, even with your legs long in front of you, whatever feels right for this first moment of grounding in the class. Close your eyes and take a moment to arrive here in your space, whatever space that is, probably in your home, somewhere, arriving into your body, taking a moment to tune into any sensations on the skin you might feel. The skin is our largest organ, capable of sensing many, many, many different things very quickly, capable of warning us, adapting to situations, both protecting us from the outside world and connecting us to the outside world. Capable of big sensitivity. Take a moment to notice what your breath is doing. No need to change anything. No judgment. Just notice where your breath wants to go. Arriving here and now into this body, into this space. Leaving behind any worries or thoughts or plans. Just for this next hour and a half to 2 hours of practice. Leave it all behind. Be with yourself, your breath, your body, your skin. Take a deep breath starting from the lower belly. Let it fill your rib cage. From bottom to top, coming all the way into the shoulders. And then let it out with a sigh. Everything falls down, drops down, releases. A few more times on your own time. Deep breath, filling your whole torso from bottom to the top. Dropping everything down, releasing the tailbone, lengthening the back of the neck. One last one, breathing in all the way from the lower belly, all the way into the tops of your shoulders. Drop it all down, drop your chin to your chest. Roll your head to the right, back to the middle, rolling it to the left. Very gentle, just waking up the back of the neck, shoulders. You can open your eyes if it's more comfortable for you. Bring your head back to the center. Lift your right arm up and bring it over to the left. Super simple. Side bend. Little pulses through the left wrist. Just waking up that right lower side. You can twist a little bit back and forth. Whatever feels right to you, just to wake up your spine. Pushing into the left hand to bring yourself back up, changing sides, very simple, gentle. Nothing too ambitious here, just little wiggles, little pulses, very easy, very playful. Pushing through the right hand, coming back up. Lift your chin up to the ceiling a few times. Don't take your head too far back if it hurts your neck. You can bring your chest up as your head comes up. And roll your face down. Bring your chin to your chest a few times. Up and down, up and down. And take your right arm in front of your chest. Hook the left arm around it. Pull it across again. Very, very simple, easy. Just waking up. You can wiggle the shoulders. Twisting a little bit. Seeing if you can keep that right shoulder completely relaxed. Changing sides. Opening up this time the left shoulder, so your left arm is in front of your chest. The right arm hooks around. Just pulls it a few times back and forth. Loosen that up a few times, bringing your arms back and forward. Twisting them in front of your, or crossing them in front of your chest actually. Letting them flop to the back, very, very loose. You can slap your shoulders. Keep twisting, keep changing which arm is on top with these twists. Almost a bit like a b-boy thing here. Although, whatever. Just opening the chest. You can let it pop forward a bit. And let that dissipate. Bring your fingers interlaced. Push your hand palms forward, round your back. Pushing your shoulders forward. Drop your head forward. Bring your arms up. All the way up, rolling up your chest. Bring your face to the ceiling. Pull your hands even more up, maybe slightly back. And then drop your chin to your chest. Keep the arms there. Still gently waking up the arms, shoulders. You can wiggle your head a little bit. Release the fingers, bring the arms down, rounding the back gently to roll back up. Now take your right hand, bring the right thumb towards the inside of your wrist. So very gently with the left thumb, you can hook the left fingers around the wrist and use the left thumb to bring the right thumb towards the inner elbow, towards the inside of the wrist, the side bending for the thumb. So we're going to stretch all the fingers, and especially the thumb is important because the thumb has so much mobility. It can also hold quite a bit of tension. So we'll spend more time on the thumbs than on anything else. Pulling that thumb first to the side, then flip your palm so it faces forward and pull your index finger towards the back of your hand. So again, you can wrap your whole hand around the wrist using your left thumb for leverage on the inside of the right wrist and then pulling the index finger towards the back of the hand. Gently, you can wiggle a little bit here. Next finger, so the middle finger, pulling it towards the back of the hand, stretching the base of the middle finger. Maybe giving little pulses, but keep your shoulders really soft so the effort is coming here from the left hand palm, the left fingers. Changing to the ring finger. Just moving all the way down the hand here. Seeing if you can keep that left top of the shoulder really soft. No need to bring tension into the shoulders, into the chest. Keep the jaw soft, changing to the pinky finger, pulling it towards the back of the hand, maybe little pulses with your left fingers. And shake out the right hand for a moment. Change over to the left. So we start by grabbing the inside of the left wrist and pulling the left thumb to the side towards the soft inside part of the elbow. The rest of the fingers on the left hand are soft. You're sitting really relaxed. You can always move your torso a little bit to release it more. Making sure that thumb gets a big stretch. Feeling the stretch on the mouth of the hand here. So the base of the thumb joint. Moving to the index finger. So you can flip your palm facing up. Right thumb on the inside of the wrist, and the rest of the fingers are pulling the left index finger towards the back of the hand, maybe giving gentle pulses, making sure shoulders stay relaxed, jaw, back of the neck, switching to the middle finger. And if this grip doesn't work for you, of course, you can figure out a way that works for you, a way that you get a stretch on the base of each finger, on the inside, on the skin between the fingers, moving on to the ring finger. If you hadn't already, maybe giving little pulses. Again, keeping your shoulders soft, keeping your chest soft, pinky finger. We're going to move through the whole, both hands, so we warm them up really well. The wrists will be warm so that we can take weight later on. Shake out that left hand. Now coming back to the right hand, pull the right thumb towards the tip of the right thumb towards the base of the right pinky finger. So you're crossing the palm with the thumb. Feeling a stretch on the outside of the wrist here, outside of the thumb. Again, you can give little pulses and make sure that your right shoulder is soft and relaxed. That way we move through the whole hand. So now you can have your palm facing down, pulling the right index finger down towards the elbow. And you can either have your wrist stretching here also, or if it's too much, you can keep your wrist long, like this, or like this, whatever feels right to you. Also here you can give little pulses. Our fingers are very mobile, they can handle quite a lot of different movement. Moving to the middle finger, pulling it away from the wrist towards the bottom of the forearm. You can change the position of the arms, seeing what works better. If the arm is long or maybe when the elbow is bent, you get a bigger stretch. For me, that gives a bigger stretch. When I really bend my elbow, it looks maybe a bit weird. So I used to have this, I'm on my ring finger by the way. I used to have this fluid bump on my right wrist. Just for maybe 8 years I had it, just a bump on the wrist of some fluid that got stuck there. And when I started doing all this finger work, it went away. Now, this pinky finger. I started working for a choreographer where I needed to do a lot of strength exercises, a lot of weight on the arms, and my wrists were suffering a bit, so I started to experiment, and now they were so much stronger and more flexible. So once you've done all the fingers, take the whole back of the hand and just pull it towards you with a straight elbow. See if you can keep the right shoulder loose. Shake out the right hand, changing to the other side. Start by pulling the left thumb, fingertip of the left thumb towards the base of the left pinky finger. Stretching really here on the inside base of the wrist. Then moving to the index finger. Again, figuring out what works best for you, what position of the arm gives you the most stretch. You can give some little pulses into the right index finger. Also, try out how it works best with the grip. So maybe you want to grip the finger quite close to the base or a bit further away. It really depends on your mobility in the hand and what feels good. And just keep moving down the hand, making sure you don't tense up your shoulders or your right arm too much. All the way to the pinky finger. Then shaking out the left hand, pulling the back of the hand, pull it all in towards you. Keep the elbow straight. A few little pulses that go all the way into the left shoulder maybe. Shaking out both hands. Now come to sitting on your knees. You can keep your toes tucked. Bring your hand palms to the floor with your fingers pointing towards you. You can sink into your shoulders here again so that you don't create unnecessary tension. And then just start to take the weight back and forward, very gently stretching the inside of the wrists. Then keep the weight as far back as is comfortable for you. Start to slowly bend your elbows. Be super gentle here. It's going to be very intense for the root of the wrist, the base of the wrist. Gently peeling your hand palms off. Maybe your thumbs come off. All the way. Shake out the hands. Flip the wrists, so now the palms are facing up and the fingers are towards you. Same idea, experimenting a bit with bringing the weight forward and back. The more back you go, the bigger the stretch. Keep the shoulders soft. Rolling over the knuckles into little fists, into spreading out the hands as wide as you can. So now lift up the palms and first walk your pinky fingers really far out to the sides. Then walk your thumbs really far out to the other side and then bring your palms back down. So now your hands are super, super spread. Giving you a lot of traction on the floor, a lot of surface here. Start to circle your shoulders. Your whole torso is circling, the shoulders, the hips, knees. Reversing the direction of the circles, warming up through the wrists. See if you can keep the whole fingers all connected to the floor. Now, come to an all fours and start to lift the palms, bring them back down. A few times here, strengthening into the lower forearms, the bases of the wrists. Lifting the palms, bring them back down. Lifting the palms, bringing them back down. With your hands still very spread. Come back to flat palms. And just a few times bending the elbows, bringing the chin to the floor. Very easy preparation for a push-up. Seeing if you can keep the whole surface of the hand on the floor here, so your base of your fingers don't come up. Push back into a little child's pose, reaching your hands forward on the floor, grabbing onto the floor with your fingertips. So very active child's pose here, sinking your hips down. A bit of traction on the floor with your fingers. You can drop your forehead down, stretching into the armpits. And walking your hands back. Last thing here for the wrists. So you're in all fours. Flip your palms so your hands open to the side with the palms up. Then turn your elbows forward and twist your hands all the way around so the pinkies come in to the center, and then reverse that. Do that a few times, rolling over the wrists, twisting them all the way around. And if it's too much weight on the wrists, you can bring your weight a little bit back into your feet. 2 more times, twisting all the way around, spreading your fingers out. Come into a little child's pose. Just for a moment while I go to pee. All right. From your child's pose, Walk yourself back up. Curl your toes under. And just because we did so much work for the hands, do just a little ankle and toe warm up, but very short. Come into a little ball. Drop your head. Sink your top of your head to the floor and the tip of your tail to the floor, leaning on your fingertips or hand palms. Start to bring your heels up a few times, lifting the heels up and sinking them back down, keeping your head hanging down, back of the neck soft. And then take the weight into the hands, bring the knees to the floor. Use your fingers to point all your toes forward so we can stretch into them. Sit your hips down onto your heels. Let the weight sink down, little stretch for the bases of the toes. If this is really comfy for you and easy, bring your hands back a little bit behind your hips, increasing the weight onto the tops of the toes. And start to tuck your pelvis under and lifting it just gently. Small stretch for the tops of the thighs, a few times lifting the pelvis up and dropping it back down. Push down into your hands to come back into your squat. Now again, lifting your heels. This time you can sit down onto them and bring the weight a little bit forward. Again, make sure that your toes are not twisting in. Your toes are all flat on the floor. Backs of the toes are long. So trying to feel the whole surface of the backs of the toes on your mat. And walk the weight forward. And you can do the same lifting of the wrist here to play with the weight forward and back. Little stretch into the bases of the toes. From there, take the weight even more forward and flip your feet over. Sitting back down, stretching the arches of your feet. If this is really super uncomfortable, just bring the weight down and find a more easy way to do this. Sit your knees back down. Tuck your toes under, come back into your little ball. Drop the head. Now take weight a little bit into the hands to start to lengthen your legs. Don't straighten them all the way. Keep your knees a little bit bent. A few times bending them deeper and moving towards straightening your knees very easily. Don't straighten them all the way. Drop your head down. Just warming up the hamstrings. And then alternate your knees, so shaking your legs out one by one. Bending one knee and the other can be very fast. Still, you don't have to straighten the knees all the way through. Come to stillness. Bending your knees deeply, walk your hands forward, come into all fours. Untuck your toes. A few cat-cows. Again, spreading your fingertips really wide so your middle finger is pointing straight at the front wall. And your thumbs and pinkies walk out as far as possible. And from there, you sink your palms down to the floor. Wrist directly below your shoulders, breathing in, arching your back. Breathing out, rounding. 3 more rounds of this on your own time and your own breath. Softening the chest. And after your last round, come to neutral spine. Start lifting your right arm and your left leg. On your in-breath, as you breathe out, bring it back down. Keep making sure you don't shift the weight forward. You don't shift the weight back too much. Changing sides, left arm, right leg coming up. Keep the weight forward on the right hand. Changing sides, breathing in. Right arm, left leg. Your torso stays exactly where it was. Only the arm and leg move. Breathing in, left arm, right leg. Bring everything back down. Now, breathing in, right arm, left leg. Staying there. Start to bend the left knee. Bring the right arm behind you. Grab the inside of the right ankle, flex your foot. Again, your weight is still forward in your left hand. Your fingers are spread. Pushing the left foot gently into the right hand. Lifting your face. Opening your chest. Point through the left foot. Release the grip. Bring the arm and leg back out. Gently bring it all down. Changing sides, breathing in. Left arm, right leg. The right hand is spread out and the weight is still forward. Bending the right knee. Reach back with the left hand to the inside of the ankle. Flex the right foot. Start to kick the foot into the hand. Super gentle, still waking up here. Maybe lifting your face. Point through the right foot. Bring the arm and leg back out, out, out. Bring everything back down. One round cat-cow. Breathing in, hollowing. Breathing out, rounding the back. Now tuck your toes under. Again, spread your fingers wide. Start by lifting your knees super slightly off the floor. So you're still in a all fours position, just with your knees lifted. Then reach your tailbone back, sit bones back, and press yourself into a downward dog. Waking up your downward dog, walking through the feet. Shaking your head no. Nodding your head yes. Feeling the strong base here of your hands, strong wrists, spread out hands, limber wrists. Now see if you can bring your elbows down to the mat. Just waking up your dolphin pose. Keep sticking your sit bones up to the ceiling. Then a few times come up to the balls of your feet and bring your heels back down. A few times. Bringing your pelvis closer to being above your head. Then keep the heels down, press down through the hands to come back into downward dog. Look up at your hands. Start walking your feet in one by one. When you reach the top, coming halfway up, rounding down. Now bend your knees deeply to round up the whole spine. Head comes up last. Taking a moment to stand up tall here. Open your palms to the front wall. Tuck your chin slightly in, very small, to lengthen the back of your neck. Your pelvis is super slightly tucked forward, so your lower back is long. Now gripping in the hips, releasing the weight of the pelvis down into the legs. Soft jaw, open chest. Breathing in, reaching your hands up overhead. Breathing out, swan diving down. You can have your legs a little bit bent here, still waking up those hamstrings. Come halfway up as you breathe in, and breathe out, stepping into a plank pose. Again with your fingers super spread. Take a moment here to settle into your plank, spreading your hands, reaching your heels back to the back wall. Lifting your belly button into your spine. Deep breathing, strong pose. And then we're going to chaturanga down. Your choice whether you put your knees down or not. On your out breath, chaturanga down. Sliding the chest forward, come into a little cobra to begin with. Untucking the toes, lengthening through the knees. Using the buttock muscles to lift you up even more. On your next in-breath, come up more and lift your face. Then rounding down, tuck your toes. Legs straight or knees on the floor, pushing up. Press yourself into downward dog. Drop your elbows down to the floor. Start to lift the right foot. Parallel, keeping the leg parallel. Both knees are straight. Point through the right foot. Push down through both hands to come back into your downward dog. Now in down dog. Parallel splits. Pull your right knee into your chest. Then roll the weight forward. Step the foot between the hands. Lift your sternum up before bringing your left knee down. Bring your hands to your right knee. Lift your torso up. Sink your hips down, just waking up the front of the left thigh here. Now bring up your hands up to the sky. Lift the left knee. Keep your hips low. Open up into warrior two, dropping the left heel down to the floor. Straighten the front knee. Reach forward with the right hand. Put it on top of your ankle. Come into triangle pose. Simple triangle. We're just warming up through the whole body. Bringing the left arm overhead down. Framing your foot with both hands, lifting the left heel, press down into that ball of the foot to bring your weight forward. You can use blocks here underneath your hands, lengthening through the back. A little gentle stretch to wake up hamstrings. The left hip is coming gently forward and down. One long line through the whole spine, long back of the neck. Bend your right knee. Come back into your warrior one pose. Then bring your arms down. You can move your blocks out of the way. Step the right foot back into plank. Chaturanga down. You can come into up dog or cobra. Optional extra push-up. Fingers are spread, the wrists are strong. Going back into your downward dog. Pushing your sit bones up to the ceiling, hugging your lower ribs in. Sink your elbows down to the floor. Lift your left leg up, parallel so the foot is flexed. Point through the foot, push through your both hands to straighten the arms. Leg still parallel, the left leg, bend the knee, bring it into the chest, roll the weight forward. Step the foot between the hands. Start by lifting up your sternum before you start bending the right knee. Walk your hands to your on top of your left knee. Sink your hips down. Lift your both arms up overhead. Straighten through the right leg. Warrior one pose. Keeping your hips down low. Now open up into warrior two. Keep the hips low. Reach the outside of the right foot into the floor. Arms pulling out away from each other. Hands really far. Sinking the hips more. Keep the right knee straight. Straightening through the left knee. Reach the left hand forward. Put it on top of your ankle. Open into triangle pose. Floating the right arm overhead to come forward. Frame the foot with the hands. Lift the right heel up. Using your blocks, if it's helpful for you. If you don't have blocks, you can lean your hands on your shin. Pressing strongly down through the ball of the right foot. Right hip coming gently forward and down so your both hips are in one line. One long line of the back of the neck along, back of the skull reaching forward. Now bending through the left knee, reach the right heel backwards again to come up, back into your warrior one with the hips down low. And from there, Bring your arms down to the floor, remove the blocks, step into your plank position, fingers wide and spread, chaturanga down, sliding the chest forward to come into upward dog, and back into downward dog. And as you do all these chaturangas, keep the whole surface of the hand connected to the floor. Don't let your hand palms or the base of your fingers come off. Really rooting down into the floor. Now a few times coming up to your tippy toes here. Starting to get used to shifting the weight of the hips forward and up. Just a few times, lifting the heels, lifting the whole pelvis and sinking the heels back down. Then look at your hands, walk your feet back. Stay here for a moment in your forward fold. You can still have your knees a little bit bent if it feels good. Drape your torso on top of your thighs. And you can either stay here and simply hang, or you can wrap your arms around the backs of your legs. You can bend your knees a bit deeper to get there. So your elbows are coming behind your calf muscles. Hands are wrapping around the backs of your heels. Shoulders sliding down the back away from the ears. From here, with your arms wrapped around your legs, with the torso connected to the upper thighs. Roll the weight forward and start to bend, start to straighten through your legs. Only as far as you can go without losing the connection between the torso and the thighs. If your legs don't straighten all the way, it's fine. Keep releasing the top of your head down. Release the grip. Open your feet mat width. Sink your pelvis down. Come to sitting in a little squat. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your chest. Pressing your elbows on the inside of your knees to open your knees a little bit more. Uncurl the tailbone. Release the whole weight of the pelvis down. As the back of your skull is reaching up, sternum coming forward, hands leaning into each other. From here, take one of your blocks, put it maybe on the highest side. Wrap your arms around your legs. You can grab the backs of the heels just like we did before. Just see if you can bring your forehead down onto the block. Very simple. Pouring the weight of the head into the block if you can. Super easy, super simple. Just getting used to feeling some weight on the forehead. If it's really easy for you, you can make the block lower and see what happens if you put more of the top of your head on it. Just experiment with this a few times, reaching the head down to the block. And let it go, remove the block. Straighten through your legs. Walk your feet back in. Bend the knees, roll up the whole spine. Come up to standing. Open your palms to the front. Sink your tailbone down. Long lower back. open chest, long back of the neck. All your 10 toes spread out, weight evenly divided. Step your feet together so your heels and toes touch. Breathing in, bring your arms up overhead. And as you breathe out, sit down in the chair, bringing your hips backwards. So if you look down, you can see your whole foot. Your knees are not shooting out over your foot. Bring your hands into prayer in front of the chest. As you breathe in, you lift your torso a little bit up while keeping your hips back. Twisting over to the right, place the left elbow on the outside of the right knee and twist your torso up. Sinking your hips lower down. Make sure your knees stay even. You can check it by just looking down and making sure that the left knee doesn't slide in front of the right. Twisting, twisting, twisting. From here, look down. Sink your torso down further on your legs. Now bring your hands to the floor on the right side of you. Bend your knees all the way down. Spread your hands. I'll flip around so you see what I'm doing. So you're twisting to the right side, putting your hands shoulder width with the fingers very spread. The right elbow is on the outside of the right hip. The left elbow is below the right knee. Just shift the weight into the hands. No need to take the legs up yet. If you like, you can take a block here. Same idea. Moving the top of the head or the forehead towards the block. And if this is super easy for you and you're ready, you can take up the feet. If not, don't worry. We're just getting used to putting weight into the hands. Side crow. Only if you're ready, lifting up the feet really gently, really small. And coming back. Let's come into a little forward fold. Bend your knees, roll all the way back up. Your feet are still together. Keep it moving all the way up with the arms. Sitting down into your chair. Do the same thing on the other side. So your hips are reaching back. Bring your hand palms together in front of your chest. Double check that your knees aren't shooting out over your feet. Knees are above your ankles. Breathing in, lift the torso, twist to the right. Pressing down into that left hand, making sure your both knees are even. Sit your hips down more and lift your sternum more up. Twist, twist, twist. And then look down over your left foot. Bring your arms down. Start bending your knees all the way, coming into a little squat position. Spread your hands, shoulder width. And just experiment here with taking weight. If you're only shifting the weight and coming back, that's fine. Just get a little bit used to the sensation of taking weight into the arms. You can place a block underneath your head if it's helpful for you. And if you're ready, just super gently lifting your feet off the floor. A few times shifting the weight. It's all a game, this. We're just playing, trying out, seeing if we can use the arms as leverage to lift ourselves off the floor. Come back to the center in your little squat. Straighten through the legs. And bend the knees, roll all the way up. Opening your palms. Standing up tall. Lift your arms up overhead. Swan diving down this time. Hands next to feet. Coming halfway up. Now you can step or jump back into plank. And actually, let's try a few times before we step back. Just to shift the weight into the hands. Very small hops. Hands are completely spread and you're just, for a moment, lifting your pelvis off the floor. Keep your arms really long and straight. And from there, now take your arms all the way back into plank. Chaturanga down. Sliding forward into upward dog. Optional extra push-up. Into downward dog. Keeping your hands completely spread, fingers really wide. Soft back of the neck, lower ribs hugging in, sit bones tipping up, heels reaching down. Now bring your elbows down to the floor, lift the right leg up, open the hip, come onto the ball of the left foot. See if you can even come higher than the ball. A few times, shifting the weight into the elbows, not just lifting off, just getting used to the feeling. Straighten through the arms, keep the right leg up. Bend the knee, drop it down to the floor, come into your wild thing. We'll flow through this quite quickly. Coming all the way back, lifting the right leg back up, then bending the knee to the chest, rolling forward, step the foot between the hands, flowing into your warrior one. Sink your hips down as you breathe out. Open warrior two. Sink the hips down lower as you breathe out. Then straighten the front knee. Turn the right leg foot in and bring a block somewhere near you so you can grab it if you need it. Turn the right foot in. So now you're facing to the side. Arms are long. Feet a little bit pigeon-toed, so your toes are pointing a little bit in and your heels are a bit wider. Breathing in, lengthening the torso all the way, reaching out with the arms and then calming down, down, down. Grabbing the outside of the ankles and hopefully placing the top of your head down onto the floor. If you reach that very easily, you can walk your feet super slightly in. And if your head is very far away from the floor, you can make your step a little bit wider. And if then still your head is very far away from the floor, you can put a block underneath your head, like this. So here, just like we did before, starting to get used to putting some weight onto the top of the head. So if your head doesn't reach, make sure you use a block or a book. And we're starting just by putting weight on top of the head. Very simple. Not yet moving into any kind of craziness. Just putting weight on top of the head. From here, release the grip. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Then shift the right hand to the middle of the chest. So your right hand moves below your sternum and your left arm lifts up, up, up. Hips are staying even. And you reach the left arm down below the right elbow and you grab for the outside of the right ankle with the left hand, crawling the right fingertips forward and maybe over to the left side, pressing down into the right palm. Even here the fingers are spread, looking up underneath the right armpit. Gently releasing, coming back with your hands underneath your shoulders. This time place your left hand underneath the chest, open the right all the way up to the ceiling. So you're twisting your upper back, but your hips stay facing forward evenly. Then bring that right arm underneath the left, reach for the outside of the left ankle. Crawl the left fingertips forward and over to the right into the corner and spread those fingers out. Put some weight into that left palm. Start to twist your torso, pulling on the right hand. Keep the hips even. Look up underneath the left armpit. Gently release. Bring your hands onto your hips with the long straight back. Long back of the neck, come all the way up. Open your arms to the side. Open your right foot to the side. Look over the right hand. Reach forward over the right foot. Come into another triangle pose. From here, bring the left arm up and over. Frame the right foot with both hands on your fingertips. Lift the left heel off the floor. Now we're going to step straight into a balance. Bend the right knee. Lift your chest up a little bit. Step onto your right foot. Lift your torso. Balancing stick pose. The left leg, the left foot long, left leg reaching long behind you. Both arms are behind you. Then bring your arms overhead. Clasp the fingers, point the pointer fingers out. If you fall, just come back into it. From here, reach your hands up, your leg comes down. Step the left foot next to the right. Drop your arms down. Open the palms. Standing tall. On your next in-breath, reach your arms up overhead. Breathing out, swan diving down. Come halfway up. Now, again, do a few ups here. See how close you can keep your feet to your hands. It can be really small. Then step your hands back really close to your feet, and now you can still step into plank, but since we've been practicing this hopping, you can also hop and see if you can find a little way of floating. So hopping into your plank, chaturanga down into up dog, all the way into downward dog. Reaching the heels back, sit bones up, ribs hugging in. Drop your elbows down to the floor. Start to lift the left foot, pointing through the foot and opening the hip. Now come to the ball of the right. And if this is enough, stay here. If you want, you can try a little bit. What happens if you make a super tiny hop here? See if you can balance on your elbows. From there, keep the left leg up, straighten through both arms. Bend the left knee, come into your wild thing. Opening the chest, reversing the direction. Stick your left foot up to the ceiling. Then bend the knee, roll forward, step into your warrior one. As you breathe out, sink your hips down lower, opening into warrior two. Breathing out, sink your hips down lower. Again, make sure you have a block close enough by on the side of your mat and straighten the left knee. Turn the left foot in. So again, if it was really easy to get your head to the floor on the first side, close your legs a little bit more. And if it was hard, open your legs a little bit. As you breathe in, lift your ribcage up to come all the way down with a long spine, grabbing the outside of your ankles, heels, bringing the top of your head down to the floor. And if you don't reach the floor, put a block underneath your head here. Reaching the sit bones more up, rolling the weight a little bit forward so you have a bit more weight in the top of your head. Now releasing the hands, but keep the head down. The hands come next to your head. Two options. One, you can bend your knees here and place them on top of your elbows. And from there, see if you can lift your feet. Maybe walk your feet a little bit in. And take it super easy, super, super gentle. Lifting up your feet. If you fall, don't worry. And your second option is to come straight from your straddle pose into a headstand, a tripod headstand. So come onto your toes, stick your hips up to the ceiling, adjust your feet any way you need. And your chosen variation with your legs, you can keep them open wide, or you can bring them all the way overhead. Make sure you come out of it when it becomes too much. Shake it out and then try again. You can try a different variation. You can also put your elbows down. And frame your top of your head with your fists, wrists.
And if you've had enough, just come into child's pose. Take it super easy. Taking a moment to shake it out. Do whatever you need. Then come back into your wide-legged straddle pose. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Step the right hand underneath your chest. Open the left. Now fold the left around the back. Grab the top of the right thigh with the left and twist your back. If you want to go deeper, keep that bind. Bring your right elbow to the floor. Keep twisting. Unravel. Change position. Change sides. Left hand comes underneath your chest. Right arm lifts up. From here, keep reaching the right arm around the back. Grab the top of the left thigh and twist. Maybe reaching the left elbow down to the floor. Twisting more, twist, twist, twist. Gently unraveling. Coming halfway up, bring your hands to your hips. With a long straight back, come all the way up. Open your arms. Open the left foot back forward. Look out over the left hand, bend the left knee. Straighten it again. Sorry, my bad. Come into triangle here with a straight left leg. Triangle pose. Opening up to the ceiling. Now reach your right arm overhead. Frame your foot with your both hands on the fingertips. Lift the right heel. Bend the left knee to step straight into balancing stick pose with the arms starting back. So in one movement, stepping onto the left foot, right leg long behind you. One long line from the top of your head all the way to your big right toe. Strong standing leg, bring your arms forward overhead. Clasp the hands, release the index fingers, reach forward with that hand, back with your foot, and then reaching up with the arms, coming all the way back to standing. Step the right foot next to the left. Release the arms, open the palms. Step a little bit back on your mat so you have some space in front of you. Take your block next to you so you can reach it easily. Reach your arms up overhead. Swan dive down. Now heel ball your feet out. Again, so they're mat width. Come into your squat pose. Hands into prayer in front of the chest. Lifting up the sternum, the back of the neck long. Now from here, we'll do a little tripod stand. You can, again, use a block under your head if it helps you. Coming onto your balls of your feet, place your hands shoulder width and place your elbows on the insides of your knees. So your choice, either putting a block underneath your head so you have somewhere to lean, and from there lifting up your legs with your elbows, and maybe from there on taking your head up, going between crow and a tripod stand here, or do it without a block. See if you can come into your tripod headstand and then flow into a crow from there. And if you fall, it doesn't matter, you can just shift back and forward a few times. Having some fun with this. Take it super easy to keep your hands spread out. Keep the whole surface of the hands on the floor. Make sure you rest when you get tired. Shaking out your hips, stretching out your back for a moment. Try one more time your chosen variation. Maybe this time coming from crow into tripod stand. Maybe lifting your hips up higher. Walking your knees into your armpits. Coming back into your crow. It's just an experiment here. And then straighten your legs. Step back to the front of your mat. Hang over for a moment. And bend your knees, roll up your spine. Breathing in, lift your arms overhead. Breathe out, swan dive down. Coming halfway up. Step or jump back. Maybe jump with a little more lift than you would normally have after all this work. From your plank, chaturanga down, upward facing dog, into your downward facing dog. Now we're going to go into elbow stand. So if you want to have a wall behind you, go for it. I'm going to try it without, but it's not my strong suit, so I might fall or I might not. From your downward dog, place your elbows down to the floor. Come to your tippy toes. Lift your right foot off. And then just see if you can come into elbow stand. You can bend both legs, then it's easier to balance. Just try it out a few times. When you've had enough, take a child's pose. So take this class very, very freely. If I finish a pose and you're not yet finished with it, just keep going. Just try it again. Come back into your downward dog and let's change sides now. So bring your elbows down. Come to your tippy toes, lift the left foot up. And then start to see if you can go into forearm stand. Experiment with bending your knees or straightening the legs. When it's enough, again, take a little child's pose. Now take your block and we'll do some exercises for flowing up into handstand, which is something I really, really want to learn, but I cannot do it yet. So take the block and step your feet onto it. And walk your hands quite close. So this gives your feet a little bit of a head start. From here, come onto the balls of your feet and shift the weight into the arms. And if that's all you do today, shifting the weight, that's fine. Just getting used to moving the hips over the shoulders upside down. Maybe you want to continue. Maybe you already have a flowing into handstand practice, in which case you can just go for it. Try it a few times. Maybe try lifting one foot off. See what that does. Lift the other foot off. And another thing you can try is taking two blocks. Put your feet onto the blocks so your feet are a bit wider, straddling. And from there, shift the weight forward into the hands. See if you can lift your feet up. I cannot do it yet. And maybe just be super playful here and for a moment try with as little momentum as possible, but a small hop to get into some kind of an arm balance. It's very tiring, so when you get tired, just chill. Don't overdo it. And again, for all of these things, you can also come to the wall. So in fact, I'm going to do just a handstand against the wall, very simple, just to train my endurance. Very simple, spreading the hands, pushing out of the shoulders, and then now my feet are leaning. I'm going to take one foot off, and with the other, I'm just going to push gently back and forward so I can test my balance. And change feet. Just keep pushing yourself very slightly away from the wall, testing your balance. When you've had enough, come out of it, shake it out for a moment. A bit of a head rush. You're gonna do that one more time. If you're ready for a more advanced handstand against the wall, you can come to the wall with your belly facing the wall. So start with your back facing to the wall. Place your hands down. Walk your feet up. Walk your hands closer. This way, you're forcing yourself to put the weight forward into the hands, because you can't fall back this way. Same principle, trying out with both your feet. And when it's enough, gently come out. Take a little child's pose, take a little rest. You can open your knees wide. There's one more thing I really want to try, but my arms are starting to feel tired. So I'm going to try one more pose, and then we'll slow it down. Maybe we'll do some wheels. Okay. Roll yourself back up. I'll do this facing you. Come into your little ball. Draw up your head. Straighten through the legs. Bend your knees. Round up. Rounding up, up, up. Make sure you have your blocks against somewhere nearby. Standing upright, shift weight into the left foot. Bring your right foot up to tree. So your right foot comes in front of your hip. Bring the right hand to prayer. Lengthen back of your neck. If the foot doesn't slip, join the left hand with the right. Now, as you breathe in, reach your rib cage up and start coming all the way forward with a long, long back. Keeping the left knee straight. Reach your hands to the floor. I want to try 2 variations of this. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Shoulder width, fingers super spread. Start to bend your knee, the left knee, bending your elbows, bringing left knee on the outside of the left elbow and the right knee on the outside of the right elbow. Then lift the left foot. Gently coming back down. Straighten towards the left knee. Take a moment here, stretching your head down. Now this next thing, I don't know even if I can do it. I'm never warm enough in the morning to try these things. Place a block behind you. So behind the left foot. Start to bend the left knee all the way. Coming down to a little squat. And place a block underneath your butt. So we're going to sit down on this block. Lift your left arm up. Straighten. Bend over to the right. Side stretch on the left side. Changing your arms. Side stretching to the left, so bending over to the left, stretching the right arm all the way up. Coming back to the center. Now twist the right arm over the left knee and start to twist back. Using your right elbow as leverage against the outside of the left knee. Twist, twist, twist. Come back to the center. Shift your left foot a little bit, your right foot a bit up, higher up on the knee. Flexing that left foot. See if you can stay upright. Maybe you need to crawl the left foot a little bit forward. Then again, start to twist over to the left, reaching the right foot onto the outside of your right arm. So first twisting, see if you can step the right foot as close as possible to the left, to the right armpit. Start by twisting, twisting, twisting. Then flip your right palm. Start shifting the weight forward a little bit. Keep the right sole of the foot on the outside of the right elbow, if you can. And from here, see if you can shift the weight forward into the hand so you can lean the left hip on the left elbow, lifting up the foot, and my foot is totally slipping. Let's try it one more time. See if the block serves you from behind. Maybe it's good to have the block a little bit higher up. Yeah, let's try this. Block on the highest. It's a little bit wobbly. Right ankle over the left knee. Stepping the right foot into the right armpit, or as close as possible. Then spreading the fingertips on both hands, leaning to the side, to the left side, shifting weight onto both hands, lifting left foot off the floor. You can position your head down on the floor also. From there, the next step would be straightening your bottom leg. I'm not there yet. Take a moment. Take a little squat. Drop your head. We'll try all of that on the other side. Deep breath. Take weight into your hands. Start straightening through the knees. Bending the knees, rolling the spine all the way up, up, up. Taking a moment to stand here proud and tall. All of these poses we're trying today are attempts, just beginnings maybe. For me at least, maybe for you, they're already very known. In which case I encourage you to go further with them. But if they're just attempts, don't worry, we have to start somewhere. Shift the weight into the right foot. Bring your left ankle in front of the right hip. Pull it up. Drop the left knee. Keep hold of the foot with the right hand. Bring the left arm, the left hand into prayer in front of the chest. Take a moment here to settle. Keep tucking your pelvis slightly forward so your lower back stays long. Only if the foot doesn't slip. Join your right hand into prayer. Strongly rooting down through the right foot. Lifting up your torso now to come down, all the way down with a long straight back. Reach your hands to the floor. And walk your hands a little bit more forward so they're underneath your shoulders. Start to bend the right knee. Place the left knee on the inside of the left elbow and the right knee on the outside of the right elbow. Shift the weight forward. Lift the right foot off the floor. Step the right foot back down. Straighten the right leg. Take a moment here to hang over. Dropping your head all the way down to the floor. Now start to bend your right knee all the way down. Down, 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 sitting on top of your right heel. Take one of your blocks, put it underneath your butt. Sit down on it. Reach your right hand up and over, stretching over to the left. Long right side, stretch, stretch, stretch. Changing sides, lifting the left arm up, stretching the whole left side over to the right, drop the head. Come back into the center. Now place the left elbow on the outside of the right knee and twist yourself over to the right. Use that left arm as leverage. Twist, twist, twist. Come back to the center. Walk your right foot a little bit forward and slide the left ankle on top of the right knee. Now, gotta experiment a little bit with these blocks and see what works for you. Maybe 2 blocks on top of each other would be good. Making sure you get some height. Now you can use your right hand on the floor for support. Start to slide the left arm on the inside of the left foot. So you want your left foot to step into your left armpit or as close as possible. From there, flip your palm over so the palm is facing the floor. Take a bit of weight into the right palm so you can shift weight forward off of your blocks. Keep stepping that left foot on into the left armpit. Now start to bring your weight forward onto the hands. Right hip onto the right elbow and lift the left foot maybe gently off the floor. Gently come out of it. Shake out your legs. Let's try it one more time for the diehards. If you've had enough, don't worry, just relax. Come into a child's pose. Man, I want to understand this. I've never done this pose before. This morning I found it and thought, let's see, but I cannot do these things when I'm not warm, obviously. So I want to try it. It's always a risk to do that live because I don't know if I can do it. Anyways, placing the left ankle over the right knee and sliding your left arm. You can experiment here a bit with the positioning of the foot on the thigh. See what works best for you and see what you need to do to slide your foot as close into your left armpit as you can possibly manage. Then use the right hand to push yourself forward off your block, spreading your fingertips really wide, lifting the right hip onto the right elbow. See if you can step down, lift the right leg, maybe straightening the right leg, and then maybe sliding out like I did. All right. Let's come into a little ball. Let all of that effort just slide down your back into the floor. And then walk your hands back behind you. Come to lying down on your back. Pull your knees into your chest for a moment. And step your feet down close to your sit bones, so your heels, you can touch them easily with your fingertips. Heels close to the pelvis, long back of the neck. Start to push down into the feet to roll your pelvis up, so the movement starts from the tailbone curling in, pelvis tucking, coming all the way to your shoulders, pressing down into the feet, lifting your pelvis up. You can clasp your hands here if it feels good to you. Maybe roll your shoulders a little bit more in. From here, come onto the balls of your feet. Press yourself even more up. Maybe shifting weight into the right side, lifting the left leg all the way up, straightening it. Changing. Shifting weight into the left leg, left ball of the foot, right leg lifting up all the way, straightening the knee. Gently bend the knee back down with control. Drop your heels down. Press your pelvis up one more time. Release the clasp in the arms, hands. Roll your back down. Vertebra by vertebra. Pull your knees into your chest. Rolling your pelvis and your shoulders side to side, with your head roll side to side. Now, your choice. You can come into another Another bridge like we just did, any variation you'd like. So either simple or with bound arms, maybe with the legs reaching up one by one. Or you can also do a supported bridge with a block underneath your pelvis. It's very nice. I'm going to go into wheel just to finish off the practice really strong today. So my heels are close to my sit bones. I'm going to bring my hands next to my head, fingertips pointing down towards my feet. And already here, trying to spread the fingertips, and it can be a bit confusing, for me at least in this position, to figure out how my hands are straight. Usually I need to twist them a little bit more in, with the elbows a little bit more to the outside, not so much falling in. So spreading the fingertips already here. Start to step down into both feet, push down into both feet. If you want to take this in stages, you can start by putting the top of your head down, then walking your hands a little bit closer and spreading those fingers wide, then lifting up into your bridge, into your wheel, making sure your knees are pointing in and straight to the back wall, not falling out. From here, maybe shifting the weight into the right leg, lifting the left all the way up. See if you can keep the shoulders even. Switching sides, shifting weight into the left foot, lifting right foot all the way up. Gently coming back. Push the pelvis up one more time. And then gently coming down, lengthening the legs. Lying flat on your back. We'll come into a easy shavasana here. Closing your eyes. If you're very warm, you can open your arms and legs a bit wider so the heat spreads out more. You can cool down faster that way. Closing your eyes, lengthening the back of your neck, softening your lower back, releasing your tail. Become aware of every bit of skin that is in touch with the floor. Take some time to intuitively scan through your body, noticing all the spots where your skin is in touch with the floor. Noticing places where there's a lot of pressure into the floor, a lot of weight. And maybe also noticing places where the skin is barely touching, light as a feather. Noticing the transitions between parts of your skin that touch the floor and parts of your skin that don't. How detailed can you get? How closely can you zoom in on your skin? Can you feel the exact millimeter where your skin?
transitions from touching the floor into not touching the floor. Are there parts of your skin that sometimes touch and sometimes don't touch? And what constitutes these changes? As you relax deeper and deeper, can you bring a bigger surface of your skin to touch the floor? Or can you allow it to happen? No need to do anything, just noticing the skin melting down to the floor. Allowing your body the time to integrate all these crazy things we did today. Allowing your brain the time to make new neural pathways, new connections, see new possibilities. You can stay here as long as you like, relaxing, enjoying all the work you've done. I want to thank you so much for joining today. As always, I will be back next week. I will post the times later today on my group, Yoga with Manou. Wish you a wonderful, wonderful day. If you have any suggestions or things you'd like to work on next week, you can comment or you can write me a message. And I'm very happy to talk, answer any questions, and wish you a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the sun, and hope to see you really soon. Thank you so much. Bye.